Hey gang, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today we're back here in beautiful Jackson's Auto Wreckers, and what we're going to do today is walk around and see what kind of cars we can find from the muscle era, right? Kind of muscle era cars. I get guys asking me questions if there's cars like that in here, you know. So we're going to wander around and see what we can find, you know, late 60s, early 70s kind of two-door hardtop or even little coupes, but kind of, you know, muscly cars, because let's face it, that's what's most popular right now. You go to cruise night and it's probably 70% muscle era cars. There's lots of guys looking for parts for them. So, you know, let's look at some of these cars and maybe you'll see something you need and you can come over here and get it. The yard will be open the last 2 full weeks in October. I'll leave a link in the description box down below to the Jackson's Auto Wreckers Facebook page, where you can go down there and get directions, and there's a price list and stuff like that. Lots of information there. Anyway, let's get started. Well, right here in the first corner we stopped, we've got this a 70, what is this, 71 Mercury Cyclone. It could also be a Montego, but it's a fastback, two-door fastback car. Can we read the VIN? No. But this thing is a V8, power disc brakes, and there's still plenty of it here, including that. Where would you find one of those bumpers? Look at that. It's straight even. Beside it, we've got a 68 Chevelle. It's a sedan, but it's still a 68 Chevelle. And then over here, we've got like a 69 Fairlane or Falcon fastback. This one's got drum brakes, manual steering. This was a more basic car than that Cyclone for sure. But still, lots of good parts on this yet. Not too much left of this one now, but it's a Pontiac Le Mans two-door post. I'm not sure of the year. I'm sure Le Mans guys could tell by looking at what's left of it, but pretty cool. I mean, if you need a pair of these post doors, there's something there to work with anyway. But somebody's cut this back corner of the body off. Would have been a cool car in its day. Here's a 72 Torino Notch. Not a ton left of that one. I think it was parked in here and it got lifted up. And the frame, well, kind of came apart. There's the frame, the front of the frame anyway. Here's 4 Vegas. Are Vegas muscle cars? Well, not really. The Cosworth Vega was pretty potent if they hadn't have detuned it so much. That would have been a killer. It probably would have made a lot of Chevrolet's V8 cars look silly. But at any rate, lots of Vegas ended up with small block Chevys in them. And then they did become kind of muscly, didn't they? Sorry, the sun is really bright here. Let me see if I can get a better shot of these here Vegas. There's a lot of Vegas in here. There's 4 right here. There's 3 or 4 more of them a couple of rows over. I mean, they're pretty gone. But I'm telling you, you're restoring one and you need little clips and little bits or whatever. I mean, the stuff is here. Look, there's a straight bumper. That's an early one. That's like a 70 or 71 front bumper right there. And I bet you wouldn't even have to do too much work to get it off. I bet just grab it and pull. Here's what's left of a 71 Chevelle. Somebody cut the roof off of it. But that's good. It's good to see the parts going out of here and getting used for something. But there's still probably little bits and pieces. I mean, like bits of chrome trim. There's stuff here. No matter how bad they seem, there's still always something that somebody can use. Well, it's hard to see, but in all this stuff over here, there is actually a 65 or 66 Mustang Coupe. It's Highland green. Here's a 70 Duster. Yellow, black bench seat. About as rough as it can be and still recognizable, but there's still something good. Look, there's a Valiant badge. on the fender, 1970 only. That badge. It's got one on this side still. Now the one. Oh yeah, it does. It's still there. It's got a pair of Valiant badges. Wow. Here's a 67 Mustang Coupe. 6-cylinder. Still a few goodies on it. Lots of them have the bezel for the horsey, but I haven't found one horsey in here yet. Somebody cut the roof off of this one. Guess they needed it. Still bits and pieces here. Another 70 Duster. Here's another Pontiac Le Mans. This one's a hard top, unlike the post car that we saw in the other row. Still all in one piece. There's a Torino 68, 69. Pretty cool. This is what they made the Talladega out of. It was bucket seats with a floor shifter. 302 and a C4, I would guess. Disc brakes too. Here's a Javelin V8 one at that. Pretty cool. There's a couple of Javelins in here. How about some Italian muscle? This Fiat is a snarly little thing. I've showed you this before. I think I showed it to you in the import invasion video. Look at this thing. It's got a twin overhead cam engine. Disc brakes on the front. Disc brakes on the back. Bucket seats with a nice console, a stick shift. Yeah, this would have been a hell of a car. Is this like sort of muscly? A two-door post Comet with a V8. Pretty cool at any rate. It's probably a 260 V8 in this two-door Comet. It could maybe be a 289. I guess depending round about what year it is. But see, these braces are welded in, not bolted in. So I kind of think this is like a 63. And that would make it a 260. Even into the early part of 64. Before the 289 was available, it's probably still a 260. But it looks like somebody needed the rad support and stuff out of it because, well, it's gone. Like I said, these cars still have stuff to give up. No matter how bad they look, there's still good stuff in here. Not much left of this Camaro. It's kind of hard to tell even what year it is. It'll be one of the first ones that had the wraparound back window, so it's probably like a 74, 75 in there somewhere. Pretty picked over. And you can see here she was cranked pretty hard on the right front. That's what ended its days. Here's another Torino. Not much left here. Oh, with the wood grain door panels and stuff. This was a nice one. V8. Oh, a 65 Chrysler 300. Clanked pretty good on the left front. It was a nice car. Buckets, console. Probably got a 383 in it. Most of the interior is still in it. It's got a nice dash pad. I can't believe stuff like that is still in here. It's mind-boggling. I bet you the build sheet is still behind the back seat. Or is it a 66? It's one or the other. This Chevy two-door hardtop. Is this 64? This would be from right at the beginning of that era that everybody loves. This one I think probably has a 283 in it. Yeah, 283. Nothing wrong with that. The first Super Sports, that's what they had, was 283s. Here's a Cougar Coupe. These things could be had with some pretty big inch stuff. This one, the trunk of it was full of Cleveland parts. So I believe this one originally had a 2-barrel Cleveland in it. That would move this little car around pretty nicely, I'd say. Here we got a couple of big 2-door hardtop cars. This one's a Pontiac. Who knows what you could have gotten this. I'm not sure what year is this. 65, I think, maybe. This thing probably could have come with a 421, I would guess. There was lots of nice Pontiac engines, but this probably, because we're in Canada here, probably had a Chevy engine in it, a 283, maybe a 327. Here's a 67 Galaxy Fastback. These things right up to a 427. That'd be quite a car. And here we got a Chevy Fastback. I think that's a 66 Chevrolet. Again, 396 Biscayne. What a car that'd be. Now, this being a 2-door hardtop, it would probably be an Impala or a Caprice. Did they have Caprices back in this era? I'm not too sure. Wow, here's another big Pontiac Fastback. Here we got a Dodge Demon. They've been picking away at this one. It was a lot more complete when I started coming in here, but there's a lot less of it now. So again, very good. People are harvesting the stuff and making use of it. Look at all these Gremlins. Is a Gremlin a muscle car? Well, not really. But if you stick an LT1 in it, it is. And lots of them ended up like that. There was more than one V8 Gremlin Chevy powered one. I can remember roaming around when I was a young guy. And you could actually get these with a 304 V8 and a 4-speed, which was, more than enough to move around a little car like this. How about this little Valiant 2-door hardtop? Imagine this with the optional 273 Commando engine and a 4-speed. You could get them like that. That'd be a fun little car. Here's a 70 Dart Swinger. This wasn't a 340 car, but plenty of them were. Another 2-door hardtop Chevy. I like these cars. Always like these cars. There's a guy that goes by my place in one, and it sounds good. Here's the other Javelin that I told you about. Oh, there's still plenty of stuff in here. Buckets, console. There's some glass in it yet. Bits of trim. There's a 67 Camaro. Still a few bits left on it. I see some drip rail moldings. Back glass and the regulators and everything still in it. Here's another 67 Ford Fastback. Again, these were pretty potent cars if you ordered them right. Lots of them came with 6-bangers and 289s, but you could get these with 428s, 427s, Z code 390s, and 4-speeds, and all the stuff you could get in all the other cars. Here's a 70 Chevelle 2-door hardtop. V8 car. 307, I think. Here's another 69 Dart. Again, lots of bits still left on this one. This looks like, what do they call this? A custom? A Dart custom with those moldings down the side. Look at that bumper with the guards on it. I've told you about that before. And shocking, to me anyway, it's still here. There's half a Chevelle 2-door hardtop. Or maybe it was a Beaumont. Not really enough left to tell. But somebody got the front end of it. 67 Dart Post. That's a pretty cool car. That thing with a 383. My friend Don had one just like that. With a 383 and a 4-speed. It was a fun little car, I'll tell you that. Here's a Dart Sport. This one was a 6-cylinder with drum brakes. But you could get these things with a 360 high performance and a 4-speed. Now, they didn't make a lot of them, so they're a pretty cool thing to find nowadays. But there's nothing stopping you from making your own. Man, there's still a few goodies on this car even. The windshield moldings are there. Little bits and pieces. All the stuff that holds you up when you're fixing a car, you know, all the little bits and pieces. It's a big 2-door hardtop Buick. These things came with big inch Wildcat, or Wildcat nail heads. I guess it would say Wildcat on the air cleaner. I don't know if this is I think it says Electra on the back of it. It's not a Wildcat, it's an Electra. But still, they had 430s in these too. And I've been for a ride in a car with a big nail head in it, and they, oh man, they make some torque, let me tell you. Here's a Fastback Buick. It's got a nail head in it, but it's a smaller one with a 2-barrel. But there's 4-barrel intakes and carburetors in the trunk. Look at all that nail head, yum yum. Then here, it's hard to see because it's buried in trees, but we got a 68 Newport 2-door hardtop, or Fastback. And yeah, most people think of these as just a plain, mundane car for getting you back and forth to work. But you could order them up with all the good stuff. You know, my friend Milt, he's got one. It's a 68 Newport, just like this, and it's got the 383 high performance engine with the torque flight and a sure grip rear end in it. It's just like an oversized Roadrunner. So yeah, the possibilities are endless with these old cars. Here's a Nova 2-door. Pretty neat. Look at that big hole. That is probably a fox den. That'd be cool to see. Here's a couple of cool ones. A Mustang Fastback. Not a lot left of this old girl. Was an automatic. And here a 72 Satellite. That's kind of neat. Hard to get a good view of this one because of the trees, but it's got that kind of, that iconic wraparound bumper. Here's a big Oldsmobile. Not really known as muscle cars, but you could get these Oldsmobiles. This is a 2-door hardtop, and you could get these with some pretty serious big inch power. Yeah, it's a big car. It's got a nice dash too. And you could tell like how well this stuff was made, like the quality of the finishes and stuff. This car's been sitting here for how many years with the windows open, and look at all the finishes on the dash, still good. Oh, the engine's still in it. Yeah, a 2-barrel Oldsmobile engine. I'm not sure what size it is. There's a 67 Dart 2-door hardtop. Lots of good stuff still left on this one. There's another 70 Duster. There's 4 or 5 of them in here. Here's a 72 Skylark 2-door hardtop. Could be had as a GS. We're here now in what I call the jungle at the north end of the yard where it's pretty overgrown. There's still some good stuff in here. There, right down there at the end of my finger is the, not much left, but it was a 69 Mustang. Big 2-door Mopar here. And it just goes and goes and goes. How about this big Mercury 2-door hardtop? This is kind of at the earliest kind of extreme of our year range, but still it's pretty cool. It's a two-door hardtop Mercury with an FE engine in it. Pretty cool car. And pretty broken in half. Poor thing. So that was kind of fun wandering around here, having a look at some of the muscle era cars that are in here. There's still a lot more than what I showed you. There's so many of them in here, but those were just some that, you know, caught my eye or I found interesting for whatever reason. Anyway, the best thing you do is, if you like looking at those, is get down here and have a look at them for yourself. Like I said, down in the description box below is a link to the Jackson's Auto Wreckers Facebook page, so you can check out all the information there. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for coming to check out our channel. I'd also like to thank Travis from Nurse Scrap Metal for letting us get in here and wander around and make these videos for you. And I guess that'll do it. I'm checking out. See you next time. Bye-bye.